Well, that's what if you, come on, man, that's just hanging around the cellar. That's just table stuff,
True.
That's just being at the table.
It's nice. That's a nice Templar. That's where that kind of talk belongs, dude. You can't
give it out to the civilians for free, dude.
No, bro. You can't diffuse the legendary hang.
So many fucking assassins out here. We got.
Alright, so during a recent episode of Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast, Shane Gillis and Matt McCusker spent some time talking about the overall comedy war that's happening right now between Austin, Texas, and pretty much the rest of the world. And even though they both live in Austin and do
I did not know that. Is there an active war right now with the LA or whoever it might be against Texas comedy? From what I've heard of is that Texas comedy is like pretty new compared to New York and LA comedy. No, I'm not gonna try to say like, oh yeah, I want them to fail. Like, yeah, sure, go ahead, and I want you guys to succeed. Like, why would I want you guys to fail? I don't have no ill will towards Texas or people around there.
Sets at the mothership every single week. It seems like they don't want to be associated with the Austin comedy scene whatsoever. And it's almost like they'd take it as an insult if you classified them as Austin comics, which is a completely valid feeling to have. Like, sure, Matt and Shane are great friends with the entire Rogan sphere, but that doesn't change the fact that their friends are complete hacks. And they know this. I mean, you just saw them making fun of how Joe Rogan considers him and his posse as assassins, or the Comedy Death Squad. And shortly you'll see them
I think those are, of course, those are inside jokes.
Make fun of how pretentious it is to consider comedy as a sacred art form like Joe Rogan and Andrew Schulz have on several JRE episodes. So they're very aware of the bad reputation that Austin has garnered over the years. And they obviously know about all the hate that their buddies receive online. Because in this next clip, they admit to watching YouTube videos criticizing the Rogan sphere and how Joe Rogan has ruined comedy. So something tells me that the Elephant Graveyard's recent video about that whole scene...
I'll tell you that I haven't seen that video. Maybe one of these days I'll try to watch that one because I heard it was pretty good.
...left a long-lasting impact on Shane Gillis and Matt McCusker.
I still get moved every time when I see a dude with like genuine disabilities doing this thing on stage, because to me it's like, I don't know, I would give in. It would just be too much for me. I don't know that my spirit would be resilient enough to fucking practice the sacred art form that is stand-up comedy.
Dude, it's such a sacred art. And that's what the thing that's driving me during the comedy wars is how sacred the art is. That's all.
I get it. It's just so silly when Joe has he has said a couple of silly statements out there, like, we're the last line of defense for comedy or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
The comedy wars will pass.
Yeah, well, they'll pass. It'll pass.
This is what I got to go to New York last week.
I'm going back to Philly for about 6 months. So
yeah.
I'm out. Fuck the Austin scene, dude.
No.
I'm back. East Coast till I die, bro. East Coast all day. Well, we were watching nasty YouTube videos about the comedy wars. Yeah. And I was like, what are we doing? Let's get something positive.
Nasty videos, huh? Well, the criticism must be nasty. I mean, to be honest with you, like a lot of these people that, they review the certain podcast moments, they have their own narrative towards things, and it's usually not really good. It's not great. When are they gonna make a video about, a comedian doing really good, right? Or, I mean, unless you're what's it called, Joker or something, or Joke World. If you're Joke World, then you're gonna do a positive take on it, but they're gonna call that guy like, oh, he's an industry plant.
No, I had to stop.
Put on fucking Grind the Tape.
So much, dude. The fate of the universe hangs in the balance, bro.
Well, the comedy wars.
Yes,
dude. The Austin comedy scene's too powerful. LA and New York need to unite to destroy the Austin comedy scene. How are they gonna stop it?
Yeah, it's just so we have all the butt wipes.
And so, throughout this podcast, Shane Gillis kept bringing up how he's from Philadelphia, which to me just shows how much he doesn't want to be labeled as a comedian from Austin, even though he currently lives there. Which is just so funny to me. I mean, it'd be like if Joe Rogan considered himself as a Boston comic, just because he started doing comedy there. Like, that is the length that Shane's willing to go to separate himself from this army of healthy hacks. He even considers the podcast he does with Matt McCusker to be a Philly podcast, even though all of the recent episodes have been filmed in one of their huge Austin mansions.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they are still from Philly. The mindset that they carry is from Philadelphia, but not really from Texas. Like, if they were to be a Texas comedy whatever, then they will probably embrace it more than they embrace their actual origins, where they came from, right?
To the people in the New York, and everyone talks a big game, and then when they see it, they're very interested in knowing how that's working, and can they get a little piece of that? There's a hopelessness out there. You got LA. You say, what are the podcasts that you can go on here? They got nothing. They got
LA?
the Bad Friends universe.
No, there's a lot. There's so many. LA and New York are doing great.
No, New York's doing great on the podcast.
LA's got a ton.
If you're Bill Burr's friend,
Glassman's out there.
yes,
There's
that's
a lot.
number 3.
Yeah.
There's a lot. How
And
many
name
are-
a fourth. Name a fourth
How
good
many are
podcast.
fucking here?
It's an obvious thing that, yeah, like, like nobody likes Texas. Usually anybody that lives in Texas, they're not really that cool. Let's be honest. Their beliefs and their ideas, unless, I don't know, maybe your I don't even think Camp Patterson's from Texas, right? He's from somewhere else. Like, anybody originally from Texas, most likely they're whack. But a lot of the places that were established as comedy spots were LA and New York and Boston and everybody and everywhere else, right?
We got the Matt and Shane Secret Podcast. We got the Joe
that's
Rogan
Philly. That's
Experience.
East Coast all day.
We got you got to take the Stuff Island being here.
Philly all day.
That's Philly podcast.
What am I, Australian podcasting?
Yeah.
Philly?
All right.
I also like LA. I was just out there
LA's
filming a
incredible.
special. It's really nice. I like
LA's
everywhere.
great. Comedy Store's fucking great.
I know. I like everywhere.
Everything's, yeah.
I hope it doesn't devolve into a Biggie Tupac situation. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Joe DeRosa get shot in '92.
Yeah,
What a
we
good
got
time. Everyone will relax and have a good time.
So just for some context here, Shane Gillis moved to Austin back in 2023, drawn in by its tax perks and proximity to Joe Rogan's mothership. But now that Shane Gillis is pretty much Taylor Swift for the average...
Yeah, Shane Gillis was seduced by Joe Rogan to move to Texas. That's what actually happened. Well, look, man, you're a protege. He's a protege. He's on the entourage. He's on Joe Rogan's entourage. He's got to do what the big boss says, okay? Shane had to do it, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, either that or start all the way from the bottom. I don't know, really, honestly. I think he would have done good regardless, but I think he might have panicked or something, you know? Or, you know, Joe Rogan's influence probably could have gotten him to move, which a lot of people now regret.